Hey everyone, this is BremSter, and you will know better than I do just how much you're in for. This is a puzzle called Fibonacci Frenzy by Chili, and I looked at my testing results for this one because I have solved this before a while ago, and my first solve of this took over 2 hours. Now, this is a puzzle, of course, from the Cagey Constraints Pack, which I am going to be releasing as special videos, therefore it's not going to go into my regular cycle, so things are going to be a bit different here. So this is the pack that has been waylaid for 18 months, and this is one of the hardest puzzles in the pack, according to testing feedback, but it's also brilliant, according to my own feedback. So this was absolutely stunning. Now, I probably remember a couple of tricks from it, which may help me keep this video length down, but I also remember this was incredibly math heavy. Now, this puzzle has been reset by me in order to try and make it nice. Now, above me on the rules, just up here, you can see I'm looking at my screen, so I'm pointing at the right place, are the set of numbers that are going to be important. And I'll get to those in a second. Because this puzzle, the cages, you don't know the totals of the cages. Let's have a look at the rules. This is a 10 by 10 grid. So rather than having to play it, so in every row, so almost normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every row, in every column, and into every marked region, we have to place the digits 0 to 9 exactly once, so without repetition. So we'll have to place 0 to 9 into that region, 0 to 9 into that region, 0 to 9 into this row. So it's normal Sudoku with 0 to 9, or normal irregular Sudoku with 0 to 9. Cages are Fibonacci cages and must each contain digits that sum to a Fibonacci number. Digits may not repeat within a cage. So a Fibonacci number, the Fibonacci series starts with 0 and then goes to 1, and then the next number is the sum of the previous 2 digits. So it actually goes 0, 1, 1, 2, then 1 plus 2 is 3, then 2 plus 3 is 5, then 3 plus 5 is 8. Now, I've skipped the second one because we already know that the cage totals can be 1. But the valid cage totals on your screen, if you're looking at it, are here. But on the puzzle, I've added the valid cage totals above these cells. So you can't see it on the screen because I wanted to get as much screen real estate for the 10 by 10. But if you open the puzzle link, you will see at the top of the grid, I've also listed the valid cage totals, as well as in the rules, as to help people remember what the valid cage totals are. I can't really delay it any longer, can I? I kind of need to try and solve this. So I'm going to restart this puzzle to restart my timer. This could be a really long video. You will know better than I do. Let's give this a shot. Now, I'm also going to be completely and utterly not ashamed at all to have my math spreadsheet open beside me, which I set up a spreadsheet literally, man, it must be 3.5 years ago now, when I first started solving Sudoku to help me with complex math, and I've been using it ever since. So if I need help with the math on this one, I'm absolutely going to use it. So, where to start on this puzzle? So we know that any single cell, well, actually, we probably tell something about these cages, because these cages must be a single cell Fibonacci number. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, or 8. And that one can't be a 3 or a 5. That one can't be a 1. 1, 2, we've also got 5 in these rows. So, oh no, there's 6 in this row. And there's only 6 possibilities, I think. So these are 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So we know that these are all from 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. There's no 5 over here. So 5 is in one of those 3. So these must be they're not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not 5, 6, 7, and 9. So these digits here are from 4, 6, 7, and 9. So what can we do with this one? Well, it couldn't be 4, 1, and it couldn't be 4. This can't be a 4, because if this was a 4, if we were aiming for a 5, it'd be 4, 1, which doesn't work. And if it was an 8, oh no, it could be 4, 9. It can be a 4. And if it's 6, we could do 6, 2 or 6, 7. If it's 7, we could do 7. We couldn't do 7, 1, but we could do 7. Okay, lots of possibilities. But what could this be? Because these... Okay, so we know the entire cage has to sum to 45 because we're still working with the digits. It's a 10-cell cage that's working with the digits 0 to 9. Now, from normal Sudoku, we know that the digits that get placed into a 9-cell region is 1 to 9 adding to 45. If we add 0 to 45, unless my math is completely wrong, we're still working towards 45. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cell Fibonacci cage plus 3 Fibonacci numbers that add to 45. So what are the possibilities? Now, the reason we stopped the Fibonacci numbers at 34 is because we can't repeat numbers in a cage, and the next Fibonacci number would have been 55, and you can never get 55, so I didn't include it. So if it was 21... Yeah, if this was if this is a 34 cage, these have to sum to 11. If this was a 21 cage, these would have to sum to 24 and have to be 7, 8, 9. So we know this is a 34 cage. So these have to sum to 11. So they have to include an 8. If they don't include an 8, the maximum they could be is 1, 2, and 3, and that doesn't work. So there is an 8 over here, and there's no 8 over here at all. But I've got the same over here, don't I? I think I'm about to get my first digit. Because this is the same. There's 3 digits plus this cage. So this cage has to be... Yeah, if this was a 21 cage, these would have to sum to 24, and they'd have to be 7, 8, 9, and that doesn't work. So these have to sum to 11. Oh, hang on. If this is 5, 3... No, this could be 5, 3 with 4. No, but that can't be a 4 cage. This is also from 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And it can't be a 0. So these have to sum to 11. If I don't use an 8, the maximum I get is 2, 3, and 5, which is only 10. This is an 8, and these have to sum to 3. Wait, those have to sum to 3. Which means they're either 0, 3, or 1, 2. There's no 5 in them, and that's the 5 in the row. So there's no 5 in any of those. That's cool. That's really cool. So this is 8 with 0, 3, or 8 with 1, 2. There's no 1 here. So this is 0, 1, 2, can't be 3, 5, or 8. So these are from 0, 1, 2, 8. That's actually all of the single cell cages. That has to have been an intentional break-in. That 5 is actually more fascinating to me than that 8. Where's 5 in this row? Actually, 5 in this row could be in any of those. Oh man, I'm working with Irregular as well. Okay, so what's this digit? Because it can't be a 0 cage. It could be a 1 cage if that's a 0. It can't be a 2 cage because that would mean this has to be a 1. If it's a 3 cage, that's a 2. If it's a 5 cage, that's a 4. And if it's an 8 cage, that's a 7. That's a lot of options. If it's a 13 cage, I'd have to put a 12 in there. And I can't do that even in this puzzle. But can I do similar here? This is a total, and these... Whoa. Okay, so if this is 34, these would have to sum to 11. 34, these would have to sum... 34 plus 5 would be 39, and these would have to sum to 6. Okay, if this is 21, these would have to sum to 24. And the maximum I can get is 8, 5, 3, and 2, which is only 18. So these have to sum to 11, which means if I put an 8 in here, I've already blown the total. So these have to sum to 6, which means they're 1, 2, 3. And if these are 1, 2, 3, there's no 1 or 2 there. This is 0 or 8. These are 1, 2, 3. And there's no 1 there. This is cool. And these are all of the other digits. 0, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh, this is another single cell. But it doesn't see anything. I think I need to keep that in mind rather than just put all the options into it. Like, is it something like... I already know it's possible to get all sorts of totals with the Fibonacci number. I can't believe I need to do... Oh, no, there's that. I can't believe I need to do math on those cages and figure out what that could be, because there's so many things that I can make with a combo of Fibonacci numbers. I don't think that's going to be it, or at least I hope it's not. Though, having done some highlighting, I'm wondering if law of leftovers is going to come into play. Because I can see, for example, that those 2 digits there are those 2 digits there. And the reason for that, and I probably should go into this, I don't think I've done anything so far that isn't sort of basic Sudoku. But law of leftovers may confuse people. So let's do some law of leftovers stuff. Now, there's a couple of different ways of exploring law of leftovers. I'm going to use the set method because I think it's the way that people are going to understand better. This here is 5 rows of the Sudoku. So I'm going to highlight those 5 rows. Actually, I'm going to do it even simpler. I'm going to highlight these 2 rows of the Sudoku. This is 2 rows of the Sudoku. So that is 2 sets of 0 to 9. So there'll be 2 zeros all the way through to 2 nines, 2 of each digit. I'm then going to highlight these 2 regions of the Sudoku. So we know that those contain, again, a completely different, we don't know where they go, but we know that is also 2 zeros through 2 nines. If we grab any single digit from those sets of digits that is exactly the same and remove it from both, call it a 4, then we're going to have 2 of every digit except 4 of which we will only have 1. And it doesn't matter what the digit is. If we remove it from both sets, the sets are still identical. So anything that is in both sets, we can remove from each set. So we can remove all of those digits, and that proves that these 2 yellows are the same as these 2 blues. But what the heck is that doing for us? Nothing. But this appears in another set of law of leftovers, I think. And for this, I think I have to mark almost half the grid. Yeah, I think I do. So what I'm going to do now is let's use purple and green. These colors are going to be terrible. I may play with them at the end. So I'm going to highlight these 4 columns of the grid, because I can see there's other law of leftovers. So those 4 columns, I'm going to mark 1 color. And these 4 regions, I'm going to mark in green. And I probably could have done it with only marking 2. But anyway, so what we see here is that these are, again, identical. And if we remove everything that is marked in 2 colors, then what we end up with is that there are purple cells these 3 purple cells are the same as those 3 green cells. And once you get used to law of leftovers, this is symmetrical. You can see that those 3 cells I'm going to use different color. I'm going to use orange, are the same as those cells, which I'm going to mark as red. I hate this sort of coloring. But orange is the same as red. I'm actually going to change... Oh, no, this will be okay. Purple is the same as green, and yellow is the same as blue. What the heck is that doing for me? Actually, that's doing a lot. Oh my lord, how am I going to color this? Okay, let's make sure, is the letter tool turned on? It is. This digit here has to go into red, but it can't go in... No, not that one. That digit there has to go into red. And it can't go into either of those two. That is A. Which means that is A. Because this digit has to go into red, but it can't repeat in the cage because orange equals red. So this is A. But blue, now A is in blue, and therefore it has to go into yellow, but it can't go there because that would see that A. So that is A. So this digit has to go into green, and that becomes B, and now B is there. Because B has to go into yellow, but it's not A. Okay. Is that right? This digit can't go in, has to go into green, but it can't repeat in the cage, so it's there. And now it has to go into yellow, but it can't be there. That has to be B. This digit has to go into... So what about this one? This goes into one of those two. And this goes into one of those two. But one of these is that digit. So one of these is 0 or 8, and one of these is that digit. So it's 0, 1, 2, or 8. I can tell that 8 is in one of those 4. Is that a thing? Is it a 3-cell Fibonacci cage with no 0 or 8 in it? So it's either 8, 13, 20, or 21. Well, it doesn't have 8. Can I do 21 without 8? 9, 7 would be 16. I'd need a 5. 9, 7, 5 would do it. Okay, so what can go into this cage? So I need to put an 8 into this cage. I need to put a 9 into this cage as well. But I think 8 is more restricted. No, 9 is more restricted. 9 is way more restricted because 9 can only go with a single digit. 9 can only go with 4. So where can the 9 go? That can be 9, 4. That could be 9. No, 8 is more restricted. 8 has to go in one of those 4. So 8 is in one of those 4. So this can't be a 4 because wherever 9 goes in this cage, it must go, this region, it must go with a 4 because 9 can't go with -1 to go with 8 and 9 can't go with 12 to get to 21. So this can't be a 4. Oops. I'm going to roll all that back, get out of letter mode, and then remove that from being a 4. Now, that can't be a 4. Because 4 has to go with 9, and that's not a 9. This could be 4, 9, this could be 4, 9, that could be 4, 9, that could be 4, 9. Okay, so what about 8? 8 can't go, oh, 8 could go with 0. So 8 either goes with 0 or 8 goes with 5. So in here, I'm either putting 8, 0 or 8, 5. Well, if it's 8, 5, 5 goes here and 8 goes here. If I do 8, 0, okay, so I'm actually going to take some notes here. We know 9 must go with 4. It absolutely must. There's no other option. 8 either goes with 0 or 5. There's no other possibility. 7, let me just do this differently. 9 goes with 4. 8 goes with 0 or 5. Noting in a spreadsheet can always be tricky. 7. Now, 7 could go with 1 to get to 8. It could go with 6. So 7 can only go with 1 or 6 in that cage. 6 can go with 2 to get to 8, 7 to get to 13, and that's all that's possible. 5 can go with 0 to get to 5, 3 to get to 8, or 8 to get to 13. 4, we know, goes with 9. So the 4 and the 9 are done. 3 must go, or 3 can go with either 0, 2, 5. They're the only possibilities. 2 can go with 0, 1, 3, or 5. 1, I'm feeling I'm losing the plot here. 1 can go with 0, 2, because I can't do 1, 1, 4, 7, and 0 goes with 1, 2, 3, 5, or 8. Now, is there anything there that is... It's really only 8, 0, 5, 7, 1, 6. So, for example, if I make this 1, 7, six must then go with 2. Now, I don't think this is the way to do this, because then you start getting into lots of options. Oh, this roller coaster is breaking my brain. Holy cow, how am I 20 minutes into this puzzle already? 1 can go with 0 to... It can't go with 4 because the 4 needs to go with the 9. So this is only 0, 2, or 7. Which means 0, 2, 5, and 7 can only go with 8, 6, 3, and 1. Because 8 needs 0 or 5, 6 needs 2 or 7, 3 needs 0, 2, or 5, and 1 needs 0, 2, or 7. So 0, 2, 5, and 7 must go in this region only. I'm talking about this region where they all pair up. So 0, 2, 5, and 7 must go with 8, 6, 3, and 1. So I can remove 0, 2, 5, and 7 from anywhere that isn't 8, 3, 6, or 1. So 5 becomes only 3 or 8. 2 loses, 2 becomes only 1 and 3. And 0 only becomes 1, 3, or 8. Which means 7 now has to be 1, 6. The only thing that can go with 6 is 7. Yeah, the only place that 6 could go... 0, 0, 2, 7, 5. Yeah, the 6 must go with 7. So that's not a 7. So 6, so we know 9 must go with 4. And 7 must go with 6. And we've got... No, this has got to be wrong. Because now I've got 5 going with 1, 3, 8. 5, 2, and 3. No, this is just wrong. I've made a huge mistake here. This is not the way to solve this puzzle. I've just made a mistake. But we do know 9 goes with 4. There's nothing else that can go. Everything else is wrong here. Trying to case it like this is just wrong. I'm going to wish that is wrong. But 9 must go with 4. I know that. Okay, let's look for something else. If this is 9, this is 4. If it's 4, if it's 9. If it's 6, it's 2 or 7. And if it's 7, it can't be 1, it's 6. So what do these cages sum to? They sum to... Well, we know we get a 13 from 9, 4. We get either an 8. If we get an 8 from 8, 0, we know that the sums are just going to work. The 9, 4 gives us 13. No, this is just trying to case it again. Okay, let's look for something else. This digit is 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, or 8. And that's B. So these are 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. And this actually can't be 1, 2, 3, or 5. So this B is 0 or 8 only. So this is 0 or 8 only. That's a 0, 8 pair. Wait a minute. Does that do anything? It means there's a 0, 8 in here because both of those have to go into green. So there is 0 and 8 and whatever that digit is in here. So this cage is 8. Wait a minute. This cage is 8 plus 2 more digits. But these can't be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5, 6, 7, 9. No, that can't. So this digit goes in here. So this is also 4. So it's those two digits plus 8 that go into this cage. So this cage is 8 plus those two digits. So can I get to 21? That's an interesting question. To get to I can't get to 34, surely, because to get to 34 from 8, I would need another 20. No, I can't do it. If I get to 21, I would need another 13. I can do that. If I'm aiming for 13, I would need another 5, and I can't keep these down to 5. This is a 21 cage, because it's that digit going in here, plus that digit, plus those two digits. Sorry. No, plus... Wait, these are the same. No, it's that digit. Sorry, it's those two digits because this has to go in here. So I got that wrong. It's that digit plus that digit, both going in here plus this digit plus this digit. So it's those three digits plus this. So it's all of purple plus that digit. So it's those digits that need to, those are the digits that need to sum to a Fibonacci number. Now, doing this again in my head. If it was 34, I need the 4, 6, 7, 9 to sum to something ridiculous. If it was 13, I would need the 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 to sum to 5. I can't do it. So we're aiming for 21. Great. We're aiming for 21. So they have to sum to 13, which means they're 6, 7, or 4, 9. Oh, You are kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me. So it's either 4, 9 or 6, 7, and it's not telling me which. How? Hang on, this can't be an 8. B is 0. So this is the 8. There's no 8 here. And there is an 8 in one of those two. Sorry, this 8 looking up did it. There's a 0 in one of those three. But it still holds true. So those two are done. I can get rid of the yellow-blue colouring, I think, because I've got A in those, and that's going to tell me... And what I need to know now is that that digit goes into one of those. So I think I can do that by marking that as purple and getting rid of the green and those two purple. That digit must go in one of those. There's no 0 here. This is a 1 or a 2. So I'm putting a 1 or a 2 in here. This is 1, 2, or 3, and this is 1, 2, or 3. I've had that for a while. So this is 1, 2, 3 plus 1 or 2. So what's this cage? But the other digit, this could be nearly anything. But what does 0 go with? 0 actually goes with a 1, 2, 3, 5, or 8. It's not 8. So this is another 1, 2, 3, or 5. It's not a 1 because there's a 1 in the region. This is a 2, a 3, or a 5. And that digit go in there. Can I figure this out from this? Well, actually, yeah, I possibly can, because I know that this now is a 21 cage. And that's a 0. So these have to sum to 24, because these do sum to 21. So these sum to 24. How do I make 24 out of Fibonacci numbers? How do you make 24 out of Fibonacci numbers? how do I make 24 out of Fibonacci numbers? Now, I could do 21 and 3. If I do a 13, I would need an 11. So there's no 13 cage in here. So one of these is a 21 cage. Because, holy cow! I can't use a 34 because then we know this is a 21 cage. So these sum to 24. If I use a 13 cage, then the other cage would need to be 11, and that doesn't work. If I use an 8 cage, the other cage would need to be 16. I'm aiming for 24, and that doesn't work. And if I use a 5, the other cage would need to be, 19, and that doesn't work. So this is a 21 and a 3 cage. So this is a 3 cage, and this is a 21 cage. And we know that the 0 and the 8 are in here. So we've either got 4, 6, 7, 9, which sums to 13. So there's 4, 6, 7, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the 4, 6, 7, 9. So 3 and 5 are in here, which is the 8 plus the other 13. 8 plus 13 is the other 21. So this is the 8 plus 21 that makes, the 8 plus 13 that makes the 21 cage that works with that 3. So 3 and 5 are in here. This is a 1, 2. Which means I can't put a 1 or a 2 in any of... Oh, so where does that cell go in red? It's not A, because that's A. That has a 1 or a 2. That's a 1 or a 2. And those are the same cell, which I will mark as B. So this is C, and we know where those all go. So that cell is that one. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Can I use it for anything? There's got to be something I can use this for. So, what is this cage? But C could be anything. I mean, it can't be 0. Because it can't be 0 or 8, but it could be anything else. Maybe I should color these independently because I might want to do some Sudoku on them. Zero is up here in this region because zeros can't go in any of those, any of those cells. 0 in this region. It's not in any of those because of the B jump. Can't go in those, it can't go in those, and that 0 looks up. That's a 0. Zero in, oh no, yeah, 0 is already over here. Oh, this isn't a 0. This is a 2 or a 7 because of that 0. This can't be 8-0 anymore. This has to be 8-5. And I can't put the 5 there. So if there's an 8 here, there's a 5 here, and that doesn't work. So there's no 8 in either of those two. 8 is in one of those two, and there's no 8 there. Now, 8 in one of those two does what? 8 in this region? It can't be in any of those because C can't be 8. It can't be here, and it can't be one of those two. 8 is in one of those 4? No. That's not it. Okay, my recollection of this puzzle has absolutely tanked. I have no idea what I'm looking for. B in this region? Oh, we know B is one of those. This is A. A in this region is not in any of those cells. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. So A is in one of these three cells. But it could be there and a 3, I think. I was trying to figure out whether this was AB and I could force this to be a 1-2 pair. But I think A can be there. If I have to pause this video and come back to it, I will absolutely do that. Can I put 7 in any of these? 7 would have to go... Well, 7 has to go with 6 now, doesn't it? No, 7 is either here with 1 or 7 is in... Yeah, 7 with 6 in one of those, or 7 is here with 1. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. C in this region. So this cell in this region, we know it's not 0, we know it's not 8, and we know it's not A or B. So it's not any of those or any of those. So C is one of those 3. I am going to change these to different colours. So A, I'm going to call blue. B, and then I'm going to get rid of the A. I know it's weird me using colours, but there you go. B is those 2. And have I completely lost track of it? Maybe. We know B is one of those 2. So let's call B green. And let's call C purple. Then we get rid of red and orange. Ah, purple was a bad call. C we will change to yellow. So that digit, it can't be, it can't be purple because C sees purple. So C is not one of those or one of those. So yellow is over here. So C is in this cage, which sums to, 21, 24. This is a 21 cage. So it is a 4, 6, 7, 9. Because C has to be 4, 6, 7, 9 because it's the compatriot of the 4, 6, 7, 9 here. If this is 4, 9, this is 6, 7. No, it could be 3, 5. C could be 3, 5. That was a completely erroneous thing. C could be 3 or 5. Well, it can't be 3. Oh, what the heck? What a knock. How long have I been looking at that? This is a 1-2 pair. So these are I can get rid of the B's. Ah, the B's. And the C's. Okay. People must have been yelling at me for ages. This is a 1-2 pair. So these are blue and green. But these... they've got to now be more restricted. Because these are blue and green. So one of these is green. Can't believe I did that. Oh, the 1-2 pair means there's no 2 here. Oh, God, I'm still in letter mode. I thought I took myself out of letter mode. There's no 2 here. Now I can't get myself do numbers, and there's no 2 here. This is a 3 or a 5. So this is 4, 6, 7, 9. So does that mean this has to sum to 13? I don't know. But 2 is now over here somewhere. But one of these has to be 8, 5. No, one of these is 8, 5. That can't be a 5. That's a 3. Because one of these must be 8, 5 because I can't do 8, 0 anymore. That is a 3. Which means this is not a 3. That is green. And this is a 3. This is 3, 0. Three in this region now is in one of those cells because that 3 sees all of those, that 3 sees all of those, that 3 sees all of those. So it's in one of those. I feel I should be able to do more here. If this is 8, this is not an 8. That's not an 8. That is not an 8 because what would that be? It would have to be a 0 or a 5 and neither of them are possible. So I've now got 8 down to 3 possibilities. But what can this 2-cell cage be? I imagine lots of different things. It can't sum to 0, it can't sum to 1, it can't sum to 2. It can't sum to 3 because I don't have 0, 1, 2 available. So what's the minimum I've got? 3, 4. And so the minimum, okay, I could make 8 with 3, 5. Except I can't because there's a 3 or a 5 over here. If I make an 8, there's nowhere to make 8. So it's not an 8 cage. I can't make 21. This is a 13 cage. So what I'm going to do is just put, not all of it, I'm going to put 13 over here. This is a 13 cage. So how would I make 13? 9, 4 would be possible. 8, 5 would be possible. 6, 7 would be possible. So those are the only possibilities for that 13 cage. Except it can't be 8, 5. So it is either 9, 4 or 7, 5. No, 7, 6. So it's another 4, 6, 7, 9. There's 4, 6, 7, 9s everywhere. And I know that at least one of these is 4, 6, 7, 9. If both of those are 4, 6, 7, 9, that has to be the 8. If I put one 4, 6, 7, 9 here, I could put a 4, 6, 7, 9 here. I could put an 8 there and 3 or 5 there and that. Yeah. These 13 cages are breaking my brain. So 5 is in one of these two, which means 5 is in one of these 3. Can I put 5 in this cage? 5, 0 seems perfectly possible. 5 in this column is in one of those two cells. So 0, 1, 2 could go with 1. So 3 we've got. 4 must go with 9. 5 goes with... So let's do this now, because we've got a lot more information about this box. So the 0 and the 3 are gone. So I'm just going to mark all the digits in my notepad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the 0 and the 3 are gone. The 4 and the 9 are gone, because we know they go together, and the 8 and the 5 are gone. So what we've got left is 1, 2, 6, and 7. And I'm going to mark 9, 4, because we know 9, 4. So we need to make from 1, 2, 6, 7 2 Fibonacci cages. 1 can't go with 6. So 1 goes with 2 or 7. 2 could go with 1 or 6. 6 can't go... 6 can go with 2 or 7, and 7 could go with 1 or 6. Damn it! Oh, hang on, it's not 1, 2, 6, 7. I've got... Oh, yeah. It is. It's 1, 2, 6, 7. This isn't helping me. I need to place another digit in here. Or something. 8 is in one of the... These 4, 6, 7, 9s are breaking me. Okay, let's look at this cage. This sums to 3 plus 2 more digits. So I can't get to 5. If I was getting to 8, I'd need to add another 5. I can't do that. If I'm aiming for 13, I'm adding 2 digits that sum to 10. If I'm aiming for 21, I'm adding 2. So I'm aiming for 13. So these are 2 digits that sum to 10. So I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 2, 8. These are 3, 7, which they can't be. This is a 4, 6 pair. This cannot aim. So 3. I can't get to 5. These would have to sum to 2. I can't get to 8. These would have to sum to 5 using no 1 or 2. That doesn't work. If I aim for 13, these add to 10. And if I aim for 21, these would have to sum to 18 and be 9, 9. It doesn't work. So these have to aim to 10. I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 2, 8. I can't use 3, 7. These are 4, 6. So this is a 4, 6. Oh, come on. So there's a 4 or a 6 up here, which I already knew. There's a 4 with there's a 4 with a 9 or a 6 with a 7. But there is a 4 or a 6 up there. Oh, come on, that felt like such a breakthrough. This isn't 4, 6. Because it sees both of them. Is it this now? Not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 8 there. This isn't 4 or 6. So the 7, 9 is in here. The 4, 6 in the region knocks the 4, 6 out of here, meaning this is 7 or 9. So this is 7, 8, 9, which means there's no 7, 9 in here because there is a 4, 6 with the 7, 9. That gives me the 4, 6 pair. In the row, meaning I can't put the second 4, 6 here, meaning that has to be a 4 or a 6. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There is a 4, 6 in here. There is a 4 or a 6 in here. So this 4, 6 is here. This 4, 6 is in here. But this 4, 6 is in here. Okay, but this sums to 13 now, surely. Because 4, 6 doesn't work, 4, 7 doesn't work, 4, 9 does. 6, 4 doesn't work, 6, 9 doesn't work, 6, 7 does. So, and 7, 9 doesn't work. This is 13. Plus 3 is 16. Right, let's do this. So we've got 13 in that top cage. We've got 3 in the next cage. The 8, 5 is 13. The 9, 4 is 13. So those cages together... Wait, that can't be right. No, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, so this is 13. This is 3. And one of these is 13. So that's 26, 20, 29. So in these... Whichever one isn't the 8, 5 plus the other cage, we need to get to 16. Which surely has to be 13 and 3. We can't use a 21 cage. If this was an 8 cage, sorry, this would have to be an 8 cage. How would I make an 8 cage? I couldn't use 1, 7. I could use 2, 6. This is 4, 9, 2, 6, 8, 5. Yeah, that could work. What am I missing from here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's 5 in this column? That's a 5. Because I can't put 5 there, and this is a 4, 6. So this isn't a 5. The 5 is up here. And this is 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7, or 9. Oh, man. These 4, 6, 7, 9s are going to kill me. I must be missing some irregular Sudoku trick. So the 5 is up here. 55 minutes. Okay, I am not going to be cracking this in the under hour that I thought. I was hoping for under 90 minutes, and I still don't feel I'm going to make it. So 3 is in here somewhere. Hang on, 0 is in here somewhere. 0 is in one of these. Three could be there. So these are 0, 3, 7, 8, 9. Including that. 0 is in one of those. How do I figure anything out with those cages, I'm wondering? Because I think they're the only things I haven't really looked at yet. Did I mention this is going to be one of the hardest puzzles in the pack? So this and this are the same digit. Mark them in red. So red is up here, so I don't think this is going to help me at all. Red is in here, because I have to have a 4, 6 and a 7, 9 in here. Remember, this 1, 3 is the total of the cage. And this has 3, 5 with a 4, 6, 7, 9 in it. There's got to be a 1 or a 2 in here. So green is in here. Eight is in one of those three. I feel there's so many good deductions that have been made, and I just can't see how to jump forward. Can I see whether... Oh, this can't be a 2 because of the 1, 2. Oh, man. As soon as I put lots of colouring in a grid, everything goes to heck for me. So this isn't 6, 7. This is 4, 9. And these are 8, 5 and 1, 2, 2, 6. So these are 2, 6, 5, 8. We can't put 5 there. We can't put 8 there. This 7, there's no 2 in those. So this isn't the 2, 6. This is the 5, 8. What just happened? This is the 8 and the 5. I just did that backwards. This is the 8. This is the 5. There's no 5 and 8 there. This is a 2, 6 pair. That was screaming at me for so long. This is the 4, 9, which makes yellow 6, which means there is a 6 in here, which means this is 6, 7. This is 3, 5, 6, 7. Without that being a 6 or a 5, this is a 3, 7. But there's no 7 in here. So this is 4, 8, 9. There's no 9 here. And purple is now 9. Haha. I founded it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 4, 6, 9. So these, there was no 0 there, but these are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. And there's no 0 or 8 there. That's a 7, and that's a 0, 8 pair. Haha. So there's no 8 there. So what are these three cells? They can't be 4. Oh, there's no 7 there. This is 4, 5, or 9. And it's not 9. This is a 4 or a 5. But red is 4. And there's a 4 in here. So this is 4, 9. No, getting rid of the color. So 4, red is done. Yellow is done. And I'm going to keep the green and the blue for now. I feel I haven't, that might still serve some purpose. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I found some stuff. This is a 5, 7, 9 triple. So that's the 8. Three, 5, 6, 7. The 4, 9 makes that the 8 and that the 9. So this isn't the 8. The 7 looks down, making that the 3. So there's no 3 in here. This is 5, 6, 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 3. So I know what these are. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 7, and 8. There's no 8 there. There's no 7 there. Ha ha. That was cool. 4 and 9 look down, taking 4 and 9 out of there. 4 and 9 look up, taking 4 and 9 out of there. Okay. There's going to be a lot of math to go. A lot of math to go. There's no 7 here anymore. So 7 is in one of those two. There's got to be... Blue still has to be in here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so all I know is blue is in one of those two. There's no 7 here. One and 2 are in 2 of those cells. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Trying to see what's restricted. Hoping to... 8 is now in one of those two. That's got to do something, right? So can this be an 8? If this is an 8, this has to be... Well, they can't sum to 0. So they'd have to be a 13 or a 21 cage. Could I get to 34? I would need another 20-something. No. So there'd be a 13 or a 21. 13 or a 21. If they sum to 13, I would need another 5. So they would be 1, 4 or 2, 3. That's fine. If I'm aiming for 21, they would need to be... There would need to be another 13. They couldn't be 9, 4. They couldn't be 8, 5. They couldn't be 6, 7. This is a 13 cage. So, no, that's if this is an 8. If this is an 8, these have to sum to 5, but the 8 could be there. So I don't know anything. And this cage could then be anything. So that was kind of useless. Okay. I found so much stuff. Blue is in here. This is not helping me. Green is down here. Okay, is it one of these cages? I can't believe it is. There's just not enough info. I can't believe I haven't resolved anything to do with this. So, it's possible there's other law of leftovers stuff I missed. Yeah, there is. Although I can, like, those two cells are those two cells. So this has to be 4, 5, 9. I learned something. So this can't be a 4, 9 pair. There must be a 5 in one of those two, which I already now have. That may have helped me earlier. Is there other law of leftovers stuff? Nothing jumping out at me. Well, no, not that I can see. I mean, maybe. I mean, that was the obvious one. If I move in a level, 1, 2, no, I don't think so. Those two digits had to be those two digits. I could have looked at that earlier, but now that just means that's a 5 and the other one is a 4 or a 9. I'll keep that in mind, but it's going to all resolve by those. Okay, knuckle up, Brem. What are you finding? Okay, let's look at this cage. If I put a 5 in the cage, what do I end up with? Because if there's no 5 in the cage and 5 is here, I'm going to get a lot of stuff here. So if there's a 5 in the cage, it could just be 5, 0. Or 5, 3. It can't be 5, 8. So to be 5, 0 or 5, 3. And all of that is possible. Okay. Help. So these had to sum to 4. So this 0, 3 or 1, 2. If these are 1, 2 and these are 1, 2, those are 1, 2. Does that do anything? If these are 0, 3, I think I'm just good. Because I've already got the 0 in this column and everything would just work. People have commented before in the past that my eyes flit around the grid, and it's because if I look at one area for too long, my vision literally just starts to blur. I need to keep changing my focal point, which doesn't help my vision. Like, I'm starting to get a headache, and that's not the problem with the puzzle. That's just my eyes. So there's a 1 and a 2, 1 or a 2 in here with a 3. Oh, there's no 9 here. Oh, there's no 9 here. So there is a 9 up here. So there's a 1, a 2, 1 or a 2 with a 3 and a 5 or a 7. I've been holding this off, but I can't see how to do this. So what could this possibly be? The math on this is going to kill me. So if this is a 6, what is this cage? Could it be a 13 cage? I would need 2 digits that sum to 7. No, yes, 2 digits that sum to 7. Well, I couldn't use 0, 7. I couldn't use 1, 6. I could use 2, 5, and I could use 3, 4. No problem. Could I get to 21? I would need 2 digits that sum to 15. I couldn't use 9, 6, I couldn't use 7, 8. So if this is a 6, these are 2 digits that sum to 7. If this is a 7, these couldn't sum to 1, so they either sum to 6, which couldn't be 0, 6. They could be 1, 5. No, they couldn't be 1, 5. If this is a 7, these couldn't be 1, 5 because that would break this, because I'd have 7, 1, 5, and that would be broken. They could be 2, 4. Which, interestingly enough, would make that a 2, which would make green 1 and blue 2. Or, if it's 21, and this is a 7, these would have to sum to 14. 9, 5 would be possible. No, because if this is 7, 9, 5 is still not possible. And 8, 6 is not possible. This is a 13 cage. This is another 13 cage. So this is either 6 with 2 digits summing to 7, which would have to be, they can't be 0, 7. They can't be 1, 6. They could be 2, 5 or 3, 4. And I don't see a problem with any of that. Or if this is a 7, these would have to sum to 6. I couldn't use 0, 6. I couldn't use 1, 5. Sorry. I couldn't use 0, 6. I couldn't use 1, 5 because that would break this. 2, 4? Maybe. But these are from 2, 3, 4, 5. But that is a 13 cage, which is unexpected. Seven would need 6, which would be 2, 4, and 6 would need 7, which would be 2, 5, or 3, 4. Can I do anything with that? Well, if this is a 13 cage, what can this be? Can this now be an 8? Because if this is an 8, this couldn't get to 21. Did I figure that out? Because if it's 21, I would need another 21 minus 8 is 13. I couldn't use 9, 4. I couldn't use 8, 5. I couldn't use 7, 6. So if this is an 8, this can't be a 21 cage. If this is an 8, if this is aiming for 13, this would need to sum to 5. If this is an 8, these need to sum to 5. If they were 1, 4, is this now broken? No, because this could be 8, 1, 4. These could be 6, 2, 5. Damn. Oh, come on. Okay, what am I missing? It's got to be something with these cages or Sudoku, like 4, 9, takes 4, 9 out of those. And the 6 looks like making it 7. Which makes this 6, which makes this 7, and now the whole thing becomes moot. Idiot! These have to sum to 6. They're not 0, 6. That makes this 5, which means this is 9, this is 7. Everyone is going to have been yelling at me. The 9 makes that 4 and that 9, which takes 9 out of there. The 4 makes this the 5. But these now have to sum to 6 because I can't get to 21. Because to get to 21, these would need to be 14, and I can't do 14. I can't do 9, 5. I can't do 8, 6. I can't do 7, 7. So these have to sum to 6. There's no 0, 6. There's no 1, 5. These are a 2, 4 pair. So now there's no 2 in either of those. Because if I put 2 here, this becomes a 2, and I can't put 2 in either of those. If I put 2 here, that becomes a 2, and then I can't put 2 in either of those. So there's no 2 in either of those. So 2 is over here with the 8. But these had to sum to 4 for this cage to work. So this isn't 2, 1, this is 0, 3, and rather than put the 2 and the 8 in, I just remove 0 and 3 from over here, and this becomes the 1, 2, 8. And I can remove the 2 from there, and I can remove the 8 from the corners. But the 2, 4 here, does that put a restriction on this? Maybe, because if this is 8, we did say that these needed to sum to 5, and I can no longer use 1, 4, or 2, 5. This is not the 8. This is the 8, which means this is the 0 and this is the 8. I really want to hit the check mark and get a confirmation whether this is good or not. Now, 9 is in one of these two by Sudoku. Is there anything else for... This is a 6, 9 pair by Sudoku. Because 6 and 9 need to go in here, but they can't go in any of these. These are 1, 3, 5. There's no 3 here. Now, these need to sum to a Fibonacci total. If this is 6, what can I get to? If this is 6, could I get to 8? No, I'd need to add 2. Could I get to 13? These would need to sum to 7. No. If I couldn't get to 21, there's no way I could make these sum to 15. So if this is a 6, I'm broken. This has to be a 9. Please make this work. These could get to 13 if I make these 4. I can't get to 21. These would need to sum to 14. So these need to sum to 4. They are 1 and 3 and 5 and 6. The 6 makes this the 5, taking 5 out of those. I'm sorry I've been missing so much Sudoku, everyone. This puzzle is the sort of thing I am just not as great at as people would like me to be, but I'm having fun. The 6 makes this the 4, which makes this the 6. These are now 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 4. And we know blue is up here. I'm going to get rid of that blue colouring. We know this is 1, 2, 4. But the 4 takes 4 out of here. This is 6 or 9. This is so much fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7 in one of those two. It's still not over, is it? The 5 takes 5 out of here. Man, oh man. Let's mark... Oh, there's no 3 here. So let's mark this quadruple. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0, 2, 4, 7. There's no 0 there. There's no 4 there. This is 2 or 7 only. So 4 must be over here. I can remove 7 from there. Okay, so can I look at this cage now? Maybe? Actually, maybe not. If this is a 0, this can't be a 1. It could be a 2. 0, 2 could work. 0, 3 could work. Oh, Lord. There's so many possibilities. Okay, can I restrict anything from here? If this is 4, this would have to either be 1 or 9. And it can't be. Because 4 would have to head to 5. It can't head to 8 because 8 would need 4 and 4. I can't, or it'd head for 13, which would need 9. So this would need to be 1 or 9 if this is a 4, and 1 and 9 are both gone. This is not the 4. This is a 0 or a 2. This gives me a 0, 2, 8 triple in the column. So what is this now? If this is a 0, this can't be a 1, it can't be a 2 because of the 0, 2, 8. Actually, do I just want to mark this? 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Now this can't be 1, can't be 7. It can't be 2 because of the 0, 2, 8. This is 3 or 5. This isn't 3 or 5. This isn't 5. This isn't 5. This is a 1, 2, 3, 7 quadruple. That is actually the 5. So 5 can't go with 2. 7 isn't a Fibonacci number. That's the 0, and I take 0 out of those. This is 5, 0, which makes that the 8, taking 8 out of there. The 8 looks up making that the 2, which makes that the 1, which makes that the 8. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I still haven't... So at least I've resolved those now. Cool. I've got to be close. I'm at 80 minutes. I've got to be close. So what is this? If this is 7... Oh, my Lord. Really? What is this quadruple? 1, because I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 3, 6, and 9. There is no 3 here. There's no 1 in either of those. There's no 6 or 9 here. This is 1 or 3. 1, 2, 3, 7. That's all correct. Yeah, we know 4 is up here. Okay, so 1, 3, 6, 9. 6 has to be over here. Can I do any more with this? So these are 3, 4, 6, 9. Okay, so what can I do with this? If this is 7, 3 would make 10, which doesn't work. 6 would make 15, which doesn't work. 9 would make 16, which doesn't work. This is not a 7. So it's 2 or 4. 4 and 3 is 7, doesn't work. 4 and 6 is 10, doesn't work. 4 and 9 does work. Okay, so let's do this. If this is 4, this is 9. If this is 2, actually, let's keep the options. If this is 4, this is 9. If this is 2, 2 and 3 does work. 2 and 6 does work. Damn it. So 1 is in one of those two. Hang on, 4, 9 doesn't work. If that's a 4, that has to be a 9. Because 4, 3 is 7, 4, 6 is 10, 4, 9 breaks that cell. That's a 2. Which means that's the 6 and that's the 2. That cell, beautiful, beautiful. That 2 means that's the 7, taking 7 out of there, which means that's the 4. So what is this now? 2, 3 is 5, which works. 2, 6 is 8, which works. 2, 9 is 11. That doesn't work. How is this still not giving up? How is this still not giving up? Probably because I am scanning badly. So this is either 5 or 8. Oh, this 6 makes this 9, which makes this 6. No, I've broken the puzzle. No! Okay, I'm just going to remove those pencil marks and redo them and hope. I'm going to use something that I normally wouldn't do. How is this? These digits are correct. These were just bad pencil marks. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 6, 7, 8, 2, and 9. This is better. And the 1, 2 pair makes this the 9 and this the 2. People will have been yelling at me for, I don't know, 25 minutes or so since I put those in, that was a wrong pencil mark. I'm sorry. This is the sort of puzzle that just breaks my brain. At least I found some cool stuff down here. Focus on the positive things that I did rather than the negative. The 2, of course, means that green is 1. Blue is 2, and that would have helped me a lot. But you know what? I had fun finding what I found. That means this is not 2. This is a 1, 3 pair, which takes 1 out of those. And the 2 means that's the 4 and that's the 2. Now, there's going to be more to do. There's going to be more to do now, more to do now. Don't know what yet. I don't know what yet. Now this, 2, 9 does not work. 2, 6 and 2, 3 does. So this is a quadruple. 1 is in one of those two. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 1, 5 pair because of the 1, 5 looking into the box. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9. And the 9 looks up making that the 7 and that the 9. The 7 looks down making that the 6 and that the 7. The 6 makes that the 4 and that the 6. Sorry about the bad solve, everyone, but this is a hard puzzle. The 2 makes this the 1 and this the 2. The 1 makes this the 5 and this the 1. And the 0 makes this the 3 and this the 0. Ha. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 0 and 6. I forgot to start at 0. And this 0 makes this the 6 and this the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, and 9. There's a 3 and a 4 in this column, so that's the 9. This is the 3, 4. Not sure how to resolve that. But the 9 looks down, taking 9 out of there. This is a 1, 3, 6. This becomes the 9, which makes that the 4 and that the 9. The 4 makes that the 3 and that the 4. The 0 looks down, making that the 7 and that the 0, which makes that the 1, which takes 1 out of there, but more importantly makes that the 3 and that the 1. The 3 looks back, making that the 7. The 1 makes this the 6 and this the 3, and that is the correct solution. 3 solves in 135.6 days, and I'm pretty certain I was one of them about 90 days ago, maybe longer. Wow. And as I said, this was not the first time I've solved this puzzle, although I did find different things this time, and I didn't remember the back half of the puzzle. I kind of had an inkling that these single cells were important and that law of leftovers was going to come into play. I think I actually found this law of leftovers last time. But as you saw, I made mistakes. Having solved a hard puzzle before doesn't mean that you're going to get it again. This was absolutely stunning. I loved this puzzle. It is way beyond my normal comfort zone, but I absolutely loved it. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry, I know this will have caused a lot of screaming at the screen if people actually see these puzzles. I really hope you enjoy it. This is probably going to be the most weird video I've put out in a very long time, and I may be the one that I actually do as a special channel feature from the pack. We will see. Thank you everyone. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying engaging with the pack, and as always, good luck with your solving.